Hi everyone. I see that I am now connecting to Facebook. So as you join in this evening, please say hello. Hope everyone is doing well on this Wednesday evening. All right. So I am just waiting for some comments before we get started. Hi Gail, how are you? Thank you for joining me, Gail. I appreciate it. Let's see, which way do I need to slide tonight? Okay, hello everyone. Tonight is all about the Mediterranean Bloom Suite. Super excited to share tonight's projects. I'm tickled with it. I'm very happy with it, and I hope you will be too. You're definitely going to want to watch until the very end, okay? And I'll give you more details in a bit. Hello, Jeanne. Thank you, Jeanne. It's nice to have you here. Hello, Carol. Hi, Donna. Thanks for sharing, ladies. I appreciate it. I hope y'all have had a wonderful Wednesday. It's about 7:30. I'll wait just another minute and then we're going to get started. So hopefully everyone's summer is going well. It's very, very pretty and in the 80s here and not too humid. Carol Helms lives in South Carolina and it's very hot and humid there. I'm sure it is, Carol. I am sure it is. Tina, the grandbabies are doing great. They're just doing wonderful. Unfortunately, I did not pull any pictures for tonight, so I don't have any grandbaby pictures tonight. I'm missing them terribly. It's only been about 5 days since I last saw them, and it's killing me. So anyway, thank you all for being here. Hi, Corinne. Hello, Margaret. All right, so it's 93 in South Carolina. I think we're going to get that heat and humidity tomorrow, Carol. It is on its way. Hello, Nancy. Thank you for sharing. All right. Well, yesterday we had Be Creative Tip Tuesday, and so we'll chat a little bit about that. And we're going to go ahead and get started, okay? I have a wonderful project for you tonight. In a few minutes, I'm going to give you those measurements. That's something I don't normally do because I'm not that super organized, but tonight I do have measurements for you. Of course, you'll also get them tomorrow on the supply list when it posts to my blog. So let's see here. Let's go ahead. I'm going to start with Stampin' Up! Promotions, all right? There is quite a lot going on. Donna says it's at least 100 plus in Texas. I bet it is. Stay inside, Donna. Stay inside. Oh gosh, the weather's crazy. All right, so it's a great day in the Stampin' Up! World because we just started our online exclusives. They are brand new today. We've got some wonderful selections for fall and for the holidays. And be sure to go into my online store and take a look at all the goodies. I do have the Changing Leaves bundle. That's brand new today. And we actually made that very same card last Thursday night. So if you haven't made that one, that's a good one to make. And then also, if you have a chance, get the Potions and Spells bundle. I'm so excited about this bundle. I cannot wait to make cards with it. But right now, I'm working with the Mediterranean Blooms, so that's going to come later this month. Also, when you're shopping with me this month, you can earn a $5 coupon, and you can earn lots of $5 coupons, okay? So, anyway, be aware of the earn to redeem. Whenever you purchase $35 in free product, you'll earn a $5 bonus coupon. You can earn as many coupons as you want. And you can also redeem those coupons in August. All right. And if you are shopping with me this month, here is my host code. You can use it all month long. And if your order does total $150, don't use the code. You can be your own hostess and you can earn free product. Okay. So be aware of that code. Nancy says she purchased the Mediterranean Bloom Suite today. Yay! There are also 2 brand new kits, and I forgot to add those graphics here, but they're 2 brand new kits, so be sure to check those out as well. Just go into the online store and go under kits, and you'll find the 2 new kits will be at the very top. And they'll also probably be in the online exclusive category as well. All right, so we are about ready to tackle this brand new suite. But before I do that, if you are brand new tonight, welcome to Facebook Live in the Hive. Welcome everyone for being here. I appreciate it. Tonight we're going to be creating a project, a box, or maybe it's a bag with the Mediterranean Bloom Suite. And so we're going to focus on the suite this Wednesday night and also next Wednesday night, okay? Now tomorrow I will add my Facebook events for the rest of July for our free classes. Don't be surprised if it's not a Wednesday night, okay? I'm having to switch a few things around so that I can help my daughter with the babies. So, of course, I want to do that and do Facebook Live. So, tomorrow when I post my Facebook events, if it's not a Wednesday night, don't be surprised, okay? I didn't put in the wrong date, all right? All right, so here we go. It's all about the Mediterranean blooms. I keep saying that. These 5 cards are drop dead gorgeous. I want to make every single one of them. Yesterday during my Be Creative Tip Tuesday, I did show you the bundle, which is the stamp set and the dies. And I also showed you the Mediterranean Blooms designer paper. So there's another look at the designer paper. I'm also going to show it to you in person, okay? So I made a chart and I'm going to see how I like doing this for different suites. So the Mediterranean Bloom Suite, you are going to find it in our annual catalog on pages 34 and 35. And if you look here on this side, you're going to see all 6 double-sided designs. So this is what the paper looks like. You're going to see the orange as well as lemons. And that's why it's called the citrus bloom. So Corinne, I'm so happy you have this set. I have a feeling after tonight, you might be pulling it out, or at least I hope so. I hope this will inspire all of you who have the set or whoever is planning on ordering it. Okay, so over here are the dies. And we went over these yesterday. I need to just move some things. I'm sorry. Just need to move things out of the way so I can move this. So we talked about the dies yesterday. Of course, this is one of the stamped images that can be cut out. Here's another stamped image that can be cut out, as well as these 2 flowers. Then you also have the stars or flowers. I guess we should call them flowers. You can cut 3 out at one time. You get 1 large and 2 small. And then you also get, boy, did I zoom in? That was a little too much. You also get these 2 different size leaves as well as these. Now these 2 pretty much look the same, but they are facing towards each other. All right. And then here at the bottom is this amazing intricate design. And it all starts with this piece right here, which is where you would lay this. Okay. Oh, Peggy, I'm so glad you like this set. And then this goes here for cutting it out, okay? And then there's this other piece, I think it goes this way, that you can cut out all at the very same time. Now, yesterday during my Be Creative Tip Tuesday, I showed you how to apply the adhesive sheet to the back of the cardstock, or to one side of the cardstock, and then cutting it out. So anyway, yesterday when I was cutting this out, did not even think about this outline, and everyone needed to remind me. So I think it was like my first day of stamping, to be quite honest. I'm sorry about that. It took me a minute to figure it all out. So it's really fun to play with these dies and with the stamp set, and to figure out all the pieces. It's almost like a puzzle. So this is their Mediterranean Bloom Suite right here. And I'm really anxious to play around with this tonight. And are y'all ready to see what we're making? All right, we're gonna be making a box tonight, and I am going to be giving it away even though it's a 3-dimensional box. So here are the rules to play along tonight, all right? To win the box tonight, and I'm just about ready to show you, okay? To win the gift box tonight, you have to be present to win. And you also need to live in the United States. And the reason I say that is because I have wonderful Canadian watchers and the United Kingdom watchers. You know, people all over the world like to watch. But I have no idea what it would cost to mail that box to New Zealand or to Ireland or to Canada. It could be very, very pricey. And so I am going to limit the drawing to someone who lives in the United States. I will be shipping the box flat, all right, so that you can finish assembling it when it reaches your doorstep. So are you ready? Are we ready? All right. So I don't even know which picture to show you first. I'm just so excited. Let's see. This is tonight's project. It is a box filled with candies. And I'm going to show those to you in just a second. And we're going to be making the box on the left with the oranges. All right, so Donna's ready. Let's do this. Yes. All right. And since it's the 4th of July, it's appropriate to select someone in the USA, right? So this is what we're going to be making tonight. I'm super excited about it. It all came together this morning, and it made me very, very, very happy. So here is the box that we'll be making this evening. And this is the one with the oranges. And then the one with the lemons, I fussy cut the lemons and leaves out of the designer paper, okay? So that's how I did that one. And then this is the little ensemble. We also have the little 3x3 note card that will match the box. Now, candy does not come with your prize tonight, okay? So anyway, I know, Kisha, I am so sorry. I know you live in Canada, and I am so very sorry. Yes, Peggy, the candies are from Home Goods, and you can also find them at TJ Maxx, and they're orange and lemon, and they are delicious. They're very good candies. So this is what we're creating, and now I'm going to show you the boxes in person. All right, so these are the little candies right here, and TJ Maxx and Home Goods has the candies, all right, and I just picked them up today. So you've got your little handle. This is probably really hard for you to see in the picture, And then if I turn it this way, you can get a good look at the box. And again, there isn't a die for the lemons and the leaves, and so I did fussy cutting for that, but it was fun. I liked it. I know, I'm sorry, Sue, no candy. I love it. Here's the side of the box, and I'm gonna turn it over so you can see the back, okay? This is gonna be the back of your box, all right? And then there's the side. And get ready. Y'all need to pull out pen and paper so you can jot down these measurements and be ready to create one of these, all right? Oh, yes, Nancy. I know Red Rooster. They would be perfect for different candies. Absolutely. All right, so that's the lemons. And the one we're creating tonight is oranges. So let me move this one out of the way. All right. It's really not that hard. Now, these are the orange ones. I've only had a lemon one. I haven't had an orange one yet, but I'm dying to have one. Oh my gosh, Lynn says, I bought the candy when I was in Italy last year, then walked into Home Goods and saw that they sold it. So bummed, but it's definitely delicious. I know, Lynn, it is. So here is the box that we're gonna make, and we're using some of the coordinating embellishments tonight. And again, that's the size of our box, and it looks like I just need to close this. I have so much candy in this that it's probably just making this pop. All right, and again, we've got the ribbon handles right here. So then, of course, I had to have a little note card. And so it's just a 3x3 note card. That's all it is, okay? But I'm gonna show you how to make the box and the note card. Now, the first thing that we are going to start with is the measurements. And I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna put the measurements on the screen. And if you wanna do a screenshot, you can. So I'll give you a few minutes. All right, yes, it is a very large box, Jeanne, and so a box of lemon heads would fit inside. It's not wide enough for a water bottle, but we'll talk about the measurements tonight, and hopefully that'll be helpful. But yeah, it's a nice size box, absolutely. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the box. When I went to On Stage in March, Marissa Alvarez did a demonstration on the Take to Your Sky suite. And she had created a box, and I loved it. And she did have the box instructions and measurements on her blog. And so that's where they're from. They're from Marissa. It was inspired by her. And I'll show you the Take to the Sky box real quick. And you may have seen this before, but here is the box done in smoky slate. And it's Take to the Sky suite. And so anyway, that's where the inspiration came from for this box. And by the way, let's measure this real quick. I know y'all want to know how wide it is. It's 1 3/4 inches wide, okay? So there's that. Lemon cookies would definitely fit, absolutely. Yep, that's a great choice. And I saw some lemon cookies in Home Goods as well. Okay, so we're about to get started with our paper trimmer, okay? All right. And we are going to start with a sheet of Night of Navy cardstock. I am going to pull out the arm on my paper trimmer because we are going to need it. We are going to be doing some scoring now. Actually, there's nothing to cut. You are going to start with an 8.5 inch by 11 inch sheet of cardstock. That is what you need to create this box, okay? Alrighty. So I'm getting my notes out with measurements as well. All right, on the 11 inch side, we're going to do some scoring, and we're going to start with a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go right over here, and I'm going to get that cutting blade out of my way so that I don't cut my paper. And I'm going to score at a 1/2 inch. All right. Now, I also know that I could have taken my paper over here and scored here. Here's the 1/2 inch on this side as well, but I used that side, all right? And now we're gonna go to 2¼ inches, and we're gonna score again. And then we're going to 5½ inches, and I'll zoom in a little bit. Let's go to 5½ inches. No, 5¾ inches, excuse me. 5¾ inches. And score again. And 7½ inches. So just some very basic measurements there. Okay. I am going to rotate my cardstock to the 8½ inch side, and we're going to score at 1¾ inches. And then we're going to score again at 7¾ inches. All right. So for anyone watching the replay, this is an excellent video where you can stop and score and score along with me, okay? All right. So I'm gonna move my paper trimmer, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper snips and right here, okay? Right here at the bottom, I am going to trim up here, and I'm going to cut it off. All right. And that is that little teeny piece right there. I'm going to zoom out because I want to show you something else. I'm cutting out that piece, and I do want to point out there is a score line up here. Okay, and it's going to become a really important score line. So I just want you to know that that is actually the top of your box. All right, so here we are. This is the top of the box, and I'll zoom in now to see if you can see that score line. There we go. That score line right along here is the top of the box. Zoom back out. I know we're working with dark cardstock, so I just want to be sure that you know where these score lines are. Now, you can also miter, that's a sewing term, but you can actually miter your flap over here. This is going to be the flap that is going to hold this box together. Now, you certainly don't have to do that, but you can, all right? And they're the only two pieces that are going to be cut completely off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the score line here. This is the bottom of the box, and we're going to cut up to that very first score line. All right, let's see here if I can, there we go. All right, so we're cutting up to that first score line, and we're going to cut again up to that score line. This is actually the bottom of your box. All right. Okay. So here we are, and I'm going to fold this because it'll be easier for you to see. All right. So this is the bottom of our box, and we have cut right up to that score line. Okay. Now, I am hoping y'all are still out there. It's gotten super quiet, and maybe you're taking notes or just taking it all in, which I certainly understand. So if someone just wants to say, hey, we're still out here, just jotting down notes, that would be great, okay? I'm gonna grab some water and we'll finish up. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're gonna flip it around to the other side. I'm flipping it to the top of the box, and I am going to cut on these score lines that I created. And I'm just gonna fold so that you can see where I cut, okay? So this is where I cut, all right? And just remember, this part up here is the top of the box. I know I keep saying that, but it's gonna become really important in about a second. So this is a 3/4 inch score line, all right? And this is the top of the box. All right, I'm gonna set this aside because we're going to now create the panels. You are going to need 2 panels of DSP. And let me show you the pattern that I used. It is right here, and this is the opposite side. So 2 of these panels, and let me tell you what they're measuring. They are going to measure 3 1/8 of an inch by 5 5/8 of an inch. And again, you need 2. Then you're going to need 2 cardstock panels, and these are with pumpkin pie. Okay, I couldn't get that word out, but the color is pumpkin pie. And you want this to measure 3 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. And if you joined me in the beginning, you probably remember me showing you the measurements already, okay? And so here are those measurements I showed you earlier. And so you've got those measurements, but you can still write it down if you want. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna need some Stampin' Seal. And we are going to be adding that Stampin' Seal along the edges of the designer paper. And I may stand up for this because I really want to get this nice and straight and even. And I am centering this, and then you've got about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Okay? Now we're going to do the very same thing. And the reason we're doing this now is we're going to add these to the box before we assemble the box. I know it's wonderful having replay, isn't it, Jeanne? I do the same thing. I listen, I stop the replay, I start it again. It's so nice to be able to go back and forth. All right. Alrighty. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to add our panel right here, and we're going to be centering it. Now, I'll go ahead and add this panel, and then I'm going to show you. I'll do a close-up, okay, so you can really see where I attached this panel. The box has two panels, okay? The box has a front panel, and it has a back panel. So I am going to put this about right here, I think will do it. And then I'll try and show you what I did. Okay. All right, so here we go. This is the flap that closes the box. This is a panel. That's your side panel. And let me fold this. This becomes either your back panel or your front panel, okay? And that's why it fits there. And if I fold it, you're going to see that I have centered it on that panel. So I hope you can see that. So, all right. So that's what we have so far. We have one more panel to put on. And look, this is the panel right here where we're going to add that cardstock and DSP. So here we go. I have the last bit of the Stampin' seal. And this last panel, and we center it. Okay? So if we were to put this box together, this is what it would look like. The front and the back panels have been added, all right? Now while I'm here, I'm just gonna go ahead and add some tearing tape just because I am right here and I'm looking at this flap. Let's see. And I like to add my tearing tape close to the score line. Of course, it cannot be on the score line, but it is adjacent to the score line. All right, hello Deborah, hi Garnet. All right, so I've gone ahead and I've done that. Okay, the next step is to add the ribbon, okay? So we definitely want to use a ruler for this. I'm gonna zoom in super, super close, okay? There's my score line right there, which I know is very difficult for you to see. I even debated using a different color for creating the box. Okay, so we need a pencil. And what I'm going to do is I am going to measure on that score line, and I need to put a little tick mark at 3/4 of an inch. So let me show you that. So see this score line? 3/4 is a tick mark right there, okay? All right, and by the way, I won't even have to erase this tick mark because it's going to be covered up, okay? Now here is my next score line, and so I want to measure again 3/4 of an inch to right there. So now look, okay? So the tick mark is above the score line. I measured from this score line over to here, 3/4 of an inch. From the edge, 3/4 of an inch, okay? That's gonna be really important for us. Now we're gonna do it again. You see this panel? We have to do the very same thing because we're gonna punch holes and that's where the ribbon is going. So 3/4 of an inch, and then I'm gonna go over here, see where that cut is, that's the end of the panel. I am going to be putting 1 3/4 inch tick mark there. So I'll let you look at that. All right. So this is the 4th box I've ever made, and it does get easier. It's really not that bad, okay? It's a pretty fun box to make. And I have a feeling once you make it and succeed, then you're gonna wanna make more. Okay, now the next thing you need is a hole punch. And I don't wanna scare you to death, but I am using my crop dial. When I joined Stampin' Up 15, 16 years ago, they sold this. And you can use it to set eyelets. Eyelets at one point were very big in card making, and so that's what we used it for. But it also has 2 different size hole punches on here. That circle right there is a hole punch, and this circle is a smaller hole punch, okay? Now, believe it or not, I don't have a standard hole punch in my stamp room. I always use this as my hole punch. So I'm gonna use the larger one. Now, if you have a standard hole punch at home, use it. You don't need this. And this almost looks like a dental instrument, doesn't it? I had a checkup yesterday morning at the dentist, and whenever I look at this, it reminds me of a dental instrument. So anyway, oh, Nancy says she has one and hasn't used it in ages. Well, Nancy, you just might be getting it out, but a hole punch will work just fine. Okay, so we're gonna punch holes now, and I want that larger circle. And what I'm gonna do is, do you see that pencil mark? I'm gonna go in right where that pencil mark is, and I am going to punch a hole. Okay? All right. And I just need to get the paper out of here. There we go. So I now have my first hole punch right where the tick mark is. All right, you ready? We're gonna do it again. Same place that tick mark was. And by the way, we're still working at the top of the box, okay? This is the top. So I now have my holes, okay, where the pencil marks are. How awesome is that? All right, here we go. We're gonna do it again, and we're gonna find the tick mark. By the way, the glass mat is now available for anyone who doesn't have it yet. It is definitely a must. So there's the tick mark, there's my hole. I have one more to do, and then I'm gonna be done with this crazy looking instrument. All right, we survived. We survived, okay? So now we have our holes. Now the next thing is ribbon, and I have 2 options for you. Today, during the online exclusives, they launched this new ribbon. So this one would be wonderful with this. It's called white frayed grosgrain ribbon. White frayed grosgrain ribbon. That is a mouthful. And my camera doesn't want to focus on it. So that's an option, okay? The other option is the petal pink and white diagonal trim combo pack. So you get a roll, 5 yards of petal pink, and you get 5 yards of basic white. And so this is the one that I chose to use. Now we need 8 inches. All right, so I'm gonna use my glass mat to measure 8 inches. And it's really important that both ribbons are the same. So there's 8 inches, and we're gonna cut them exactly the same length. Super important, okay? 8 inches it is. All right, well, guess what? I am now going to turn the box over, okay? We are working on the inside of the box now. So what we're gonna do is we're going to thread this ribbon, and this might be the hardest thing you do, and we're gonna pull that ribbon through, okay? And then we're gonna do the same with this side. And when I flip it over, I wanna be sure that my ribbon is going in the same direction. Okay. All right. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the tear and tape. Notice how I'm only putting a small amount of ribbon here, okay? Just need a small amount. I'm gonna run that tear and tape right on across, and it's under this score line, okay? Now I wanna reinforce, so I'm actually gonna add another piece of tear and tape. All right. You all got quiet again. I hope that means that you are being great listeners and taking copious notes. All right. So that's what we want to do there, okay? All right. We've got to do the same. Let me show you the handle. That was one thing I did want to show you. Look how my handle is turned this way. It's not twisted. So you do want to make sure that your handle is not twisted when you go to adhere it inside. We're going to do it again so you can watch again. And you know what? And this might make it easier for you. Let's do one more thing. I'm going to make this a little easier. I've made enough now that I know what it is I need to do. But I am going to just add a little piece of tear and tape. I could have made that a little bit bigger, by the way. And now I'm going to flip it over and pull that through, and now look, I do have my ribbon going the correct way, and that's what you want to check on. So it's not a bad idea to go ahead and put one piece of the tear and tape there. All right, so I'm going to take that tear and tape again, and I'm going to run it all the way across. And just want a little extra insurance, so I'm just going to add that there. And I added that on top. Hopefully that won't be an issue. Okay. Now while we're here, let's go ahead and let's add some tear and tape right under this score line, and tear and tape under this score line. So you're going to have tear and tape all the way across when you're done. Do not put it on the score lines. You do not need it there, okay? So no score lines. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to lift up my tear and tape if I can. And I am going to fold this down. Okay. Haha. You know what? I'm going to do one more thing. Although it is holding. Yeah, it's good. Okay. So just press that down really, really well. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick the paper up on this one and get that closed. You're going to love the top of this box. because it has a seam. It's just really cool how this was designed. And now we're going to take this piece of tear and tape off, fold that one down. It's really going to make the top of your box look finished. All right, now this might be a little bit of trouble because I kind of overlapped that tear and tape there. So we'll see what happens. There are ways around it. I think we got it. And before I close, I want to get rid of these fringes because I don't want my fringes showing. And then we're going to close this. Okay. And that should do just fine. You know, it's buckling a little there. So, you know what I'm going to do? If that happens to you, pull that up. However you want it to go, okay? All right, but that really should hold. Now down here at the bottom, we need to add more tear and tape because we're just about ready to put this box together. So I'm going to put a piece here. And we're going to put a piece here, okay? All right, well, guess what? We're ready to put this together. Now, I'm not going to close the bottom because that would mean I would have to ship the box completely done. I'm going to ship it flat, okay? And then whoever wins the box can pop it up and put it together. Okay, so the flap comes first. Oh, by the way, you want to look one more time? This is what we did with their handles, okay? All right. We are going to close our box now, and we are going to start right here and close it right on that seam. So it's even hard to see the seam, isn't it? But that's where you're closing your box. Now, if we were putting this together, we'll put our short flaps in first, close the short flaps first, then this piece, peel this off to close the box. And this would be your box, okay? But since someone's going to win this tonight, someone from the USA, I'm going to be shipping it like this, okay? But we're still going to embellish the front, okay? All right, so we're ready for embellishing. That's the next fun thing we get to do. And we're using the designer paper for this, okay? So one of the designer papers, and I'll let you look at the designer papers right here. The designer paper that is on the top left, no, that's not the one we're using. The designer paper that is in the middle bottom, those oranges, they can be cut out with a die, okay? And so that's exactly what I have done. I've already cut this out of the designer paper. This is the opposite side. Then you can also cut out the other shaped orange. So there are 2 dies in this bundle that will cut out one of the sheets of the designer paper. Okay, so that's all you have to do. There's really no stamping, okay? All right, so we're gonna flip them over because we've got to add lots of dimensionals. I'm gonna be adding minis as well as large ones. And I like to get all my minis in here where they're just little spaces. And I'll zoom in. And now I think I can use a couple of big ones. Now you may be asking, how many dimensionals do I need? And the answer is, however many it takes to make you happy, okay? So it is just endless as to how many you may want to use. Hi, Mary Kay, how are you? Mary Kay, we are making a box tonight using the Mediterranean Bloom Suite, and I will be giving it away. So you do need to hang on to the very end. And let's see. Okay, I think I have enough. Maybe I have enough. I'll just add a couple more. Okay, we're gonna start with the large orange first, which will be this one. And we're gonna peel off all of these papers. So all the little dimensional papers need to come off. I'm almost there, I promise. Okay. I know, I love this suite, and you have this suite, Mary Kay. All right, so we're just going to be adding our oranges here now, and we're gonna add them about right there, okay? So there it is. Nancy, I absolutely love your comment. Nancy thought Mary Kay was late because she was still shopping on the Stampin' Up website. Oh yes, you must have dimensionals, ladies. Absolutely. Absolutely, you must have dimensionals. All right, for this one, I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kind of line these two up. I think I'm gonna line up like these leaves. There we go, that'll work. Hang on, yep, that'll work. All right, so that is how I'm lining this up. Now we're gonna do a bit of stamping, and we are going to need a piece of basic white. This is measuring 3.5 inches by 3/4 of an inch. And those measurements are at the very beginning of the video tonight. I'm going to be using the greeting from Country Birdhouse, hoping you have the best day ever. Now, the Citrus Blooms has 4 greetings, wonderful greetings, but I chose this one because I just love the mix of 2 different fonts. Deborah's shopping too. Good, y'all keep shopping. Keep it up. All right, and now we're gonna add this, and hopefully it's straight. If not, I'm gonna stamp it again. I think we got it. That is Night of Navy, by the way. All right, so let's bring our box back in. And I can never get my zoom right. Hang on. I'm trying to zoom in just a tad, not too much. Okay, we're going to be adding this probably at about right here. And the oranges are already popped up, so that means I've really got to pop up this one. I've got to have 2 large dimensionals on each side, okay? 2 large dimensionals. I'm double stacking them because the oranges are already popped up. Now remember, my box is not together, okay? because I'm mailing it. Someone's gonna win this, okay? All right. So let's go ahead. Let me make sure that I get this straight. That's the first thing I need to do. Trying to be very strategic about where I'm putting this. And of course, you know, I want it straight. Okay. So I think that will work. Now we're going to be adding some embezzlements and a stamped flower. So this is the large stamped flower. I went on and stamped it and cut it out today, okay? I just went on and got it done because I knew the box would take us a bit. And I'm using Daffodil Delight for coloring the flower. By the way, it's black Memento ink, which I need to put on the supply list. I did not add the black Memento ink to the supply list. All right, you can also use, do we have crushed curry? I'm trying to remember if we have the crushed curry. I don't think we do. So we have Daffodil Delight. You could use So Saffron, anything like that. Let's add an embezzlement here. Here they are, and they had been on back order for a really long time, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're available now. All right, so we're adding the navy one, and I'm gonna add just a tiny bit of glue here. That's not on the supply list either. I was working on the supply list this afternoon. All right, so that's where that little flower is going to go. And we're going to add some other ones just because it's fun to do. Let's put one up here. By the way, sometimes I use my paper snips and sometimes I use my Take Your Pick tool for adding embezzlements. All right. My embezzlement has landed, and I mean landed on my glass mat, but I got it. All right, so I'm adding some of the clear. This is the yellow one. We'll call it Daffodil Delight. And then we'll use a smaller Daffodil Delight on this one. And you gotta watch this. Remember, I glued it, so it wants to move on me. All right, so let's get a bigger one of these. And we'll add that there. All right, and honestly, I think we can add one on this flower too. So those are the embezzlements for now. I'll let you get a good look at those, okay? I know, don't you wish it was coming tomorrow, Nancy? I love this set. I want to make 1,000 cards with it. It's just so daggone fun. Just so fun. All right, so whoever wins our box this evening, all right, all you're going to have to do is you're going to have to close it and add the tape. I'll be shipping it flat, okay? It will ship just like this. So pray it gets there safely, all right? Let's make a cute little card to go with it, okay? And I will send that to you as well. And this is just a little quickie. This is a 6 by 3, all right? So it's 3 inches by 6 inches, and I don't have a score line in it. So I am going to use my bone folder and make that score line. I'm so glad y'all like it. Okay, is anybody gonna make it? What do you think? You could use this box for anything, absolutely anything. I think we're gonna need my paper trimmer. We're gonna want our designer paper to be 2 3/4. 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. I know, Gail. I thought of that. I'll see Gail next Saturday. I'm going to see a lot of you next Saturday, and you could just pick it up if you win. If you win. Oh, I just thought of something. You know what? You see this? This is going inside the card. And guess what? Wouldn't that be cute? Hang on. I'm just going to add a little snippet. All right, what I'm doing is I'm adding the liquid glue right there across the bottom, okay? And then I'm going to add this. This was just going in the trash, and I thought, why not put this inside our card? I'm going to trim it, but let's let it dry, okay? All right, so we're going to add another piece of paper. It is 2 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. And it is just going to fit right here. All right, we'll add the inside in a second. I am actually going to take, I'm making it super easy, okay? Very little stamping. I've already cut another one of these out using the die. And we'll go back to dimensionals here. And of course I've got to have a couple teeny ones. What did I do with my little ones? Well, my white little ones just fell, so guess what? We're getting a black one. A small black mini. I know, never throw those scraps away. I know. Gail is making sure everybody is commenting. We're giving this box away in about 5 minutes, ladies. 5 minutes. Now, it won't mail tomorrow because it's the 4th of July, so it will mail on Friday. All right. So here we go. We can add that right there. If this bothers you, just trim it off, okay? I am going to use a banner from Stylish Shapes. So I'll zoom in a bit here so you can see me stamp that. We're going to use Night of Navy. Diane is waiting, just waiting to win this prize. Oh, and then I have a funny story to Mary Kay. I hope you're watching because I have something to tell you. All right, sorry y'all if my head's in the way. There we go. I got a little bit of a line, so you know what? We'll do it again. I was pressing pretty hard because I cannot see. There we go. All the love. And this greeting is from the Citrus Bloom bundle. So that is part of it. And we're going to flip this over. My funny thing to tell is Mary Kay, I brought this block home and look whose name is on it. I have your block. So I'll make sure I clean it up and give it to you next weekend. All right. Mary Kay and I are always sharing supplies for different classes and stuff. So yes, I popped it up. And then I am just going to add the words right here. Let's add a flower. I have some more little ones cut out, or maybe I have big ones. And we will use our Daffodil Delight again. I'm using the light, by the way. I certainly could have used the dark daffodil. And we're gonna glue this one as well. By the way, it is inked in black Memento ink and colored with the Daffodil Delight, the light Stampin' blend. All right, let's go back to the inside. We're gonna trim this. So there's that little scrap. Oh, I need an embellishment there. Don't let me forget. We're just going to add this inside. You can put this with the box if you decide to give it away. And we're going to need an embezzlement. So let's get one. I'm going to go with navy this time. Sorry, it's still moving around because I've used Tombow glue on it. It's almost dry. There we go. There we go. I know Mary Kay's not been able to stamp because I had her block G. That was the whole reason. All right, so these are tonight's projects. And you can get your candies at Home Goods or TJ Maxx. You can buy one bag. It's gonna fill up your box. It makes it super, super cute. I'm gonna get some paper out because we're gonna be drawing names. Here's the 2 boxes with the card. All right, and I'm gonna get us set up now for Facebook, okay? To draw a name, you must be a U.S. Resident, and you must be present to win. All right, I can't wait to send this out. I can't wait to see who it is going to be. I'm sure Mary Kay has an extra black. The box really isn't hard. It really isn't. And by the time you make your 4th one, you're like, I can do this. This is not a problem. All righty. Y'all give me just a second now. And this is the opposite side. All right. We are going to see who our winner's going to be tonight. All right. I am grabbing Facebook comments. All right. Okay. And I'm going to switch it over. And I'm going to click start. And we're going to see who our winner is tonight. Okay. So good luck, everybody. Fingers crossed. Bess Kirk. Bess is in my team. She is in my downline. She's a team member. So Bess, congratulations. And I will put this in the mail to you on Friday. Okay, and I hope you have a great 4th of July. I always like a small little coordinating card to go with like a box or something. So I'm glad you like that, Pat. Thank you. All right, everyone. It was so much fun to create this box with you. I hope you will come back next Wednesday night and we're going to create some more cards. We're going to create cards, okay? Using the Mediterranean, the Citrus Blooms bundle. We'll use the entire Mediterranean Bloom suite, okay? So that's what we'll do next Wednesday night. We're gonna do some watercoloring, all right, with the oranges. So I've been watching some videos and getting some ideas. So watercoloring I think is gonna be on the agenda next Wednesday night, okay? I hope everyone has a wonderful 4th. Enjoy your time with your family. Enjoy the food and the fireworks and all that good stuff. Stay cool. And I will be back next Tuesday for my Be Creative Tip Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And I'll be here next Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks so much for sharing your Wednesday with me. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next week. Bye.